Hello, children. I'm here with Act 1, Scene 2, Merchant of Venice, where Narissa asks Portia about her feeling for the princely suitors who have already come. Portia comments upon the various suitors who have already come to try their luck. She seems to like no one. First, there is the Neapolitan prince. What she says? Ah, yes, that stallion. All he talks about is his horse. He thinks it's a great credit to his character that he can shoe a horse all by himself. I'm afraid his mother may have had an affair with a blacksmith. So she thinks that the Neapolitan prince is no better than a horse, as he always talks of horses. Then there is Count Palatine. He does nothing but frown as he wants to say, "If you don't want me, I don't care." He doesn't even smile when he hears funny stories. If he is so sad and solemn when he is young, I can only imagine how much he will cry as an old man. No, I would rather be married to a skull with a bone in its mouth than to either of those men. God protect me from these two. To what she remarks that County Palatine is so sad and serious that it is better to marry a dead man's skull than to marry such a weeping philosopher. Children, try to find out information about weeping philosophers. So the next is French Lord Montsalibon. Portia says about him, "Since he was made by God, therefore we should call him a man. In fact, I know it is a sin to make fun of somebody. Undoubtedly, he has a horse better than the one belonging to the Neapolitan prince. His frown is worse than that of the count. He has got different qualities of different men, yet he does not have the individuality of man. If he hears the song of a throstle, he starts dancing. He starts fighting with his own shadow. Indeed, if I were to marry him, I will have a number of husbands. If he hates me, I would forgive him. If he loves me madly, it would be difficult for me to return his warm love." Next, Falconbridge, the young Baron of England. Portia says about him, "You know that I do not talk to him at all, because he does not understand my language, nor do I know his. He does not know Latin, French, and Italian, and you would be prepared to swear that I have poor knowledge of English. There is no doubt that he is a handsome looking person, but I regret to say that no one can talk with a dumb picture. How strangely he dresses himself. I think he got his coat from Italy, his breeches from France, and his hat from Germany, and manners from everywhere." Then Nerissa asks, "What do you think of his neighbor, the Scottish lord?" Portia says, "He is very generous and kind hearted, because when the Englishman gave him a punch on the ear, the Scottish lord promised to pay him back as soon as he was able to do so. And I think the French lord became his surety, taking a similar blow." What she wants to say that he is a coward. Then Nerissa asks, "How do you like the young German who is the nephew of the Duke of Saxony?" She says, "I have a very poor opinion of him. In the morning, when he is not drunk, I hate him. In the afternoon, when he is drunk, When he is at his best, he is little better than a man. When he is at his worst, he is no better than a beast. Even if the worst were to happen, I hope I shall manage to go without him. Then Nerissa says, but if he enters the contest and suppose also he by chance chooses the right casket, you would be going against your father's will if you refuse to accept him for a husband. Then Portia says, therefore, because I'm afraid that the worst can happen, I request you to put a glass of Rhenish wine on the wrong casket, for I know that even there is a devil inside the casket, and a glass of wine, which would be a great temptation for the German. Outside it, the German would choose it. I'm prepared to do anything except to be married to a drunkard. Thereafter, Nerissa tells Portia that she need not bother about these suitors because they do not want to try their luck by the casket and therefore have decided to leave Belmont. Nerissa then asks her opinion about Bassanio, who visited her earlier in the company of Marquess of Montferrat, and says that he is the ideal lover who deserves her hand in marriage. Portia recollects Bassanio's visit and agrees with Nerissa's opinion. At this moment, a servant enters and informs Portia that the four strangers are looking for you to take your permission to leave. There is an advance messenger who has come from another suitor, the Prince of Morocco. He brings the message that his master will be here tonight. Portia says, if I could welcome the fifth suitor as heartily as I bid the other farewell, I should be glad to hear about his arrival. If he happens to have virtues of a saint but the dark complexion of a devil, I should prefer to have him for religious consolation than a husband. Then she turns to Nerissa and says, as we shut the gates on one suitor, another knocks at the door. Thus, the scene ends here.